Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com, and this is the Nerdrotic Nooner for Hump Day. What's up, everybody? Greetings. Hope you are all having a pleasant day. It is storming here in San Francisco, and man, did we need it. But the problem is, we had a bunch of smoke here from all the fires. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. Standing outside in San Francisco in the last couple of weeks for more than 2 hours is the equivalent of smoking 14 cigarettes. That's how bad it was. People were walking around with masks on. It looked like Beijing. It looked post-apocalyptic, and the streets were kind of empty. It was weird. But now it's raining, and the acid rain is coming down. So the plant life here is going to have a hard time with all the particulates coming down. Blizzard Boy. Hey, Gary, still at Tesla? No, I am not at Tesla anymore. I'll tell that story in a little bit. Ted Distel, New Messiah, Grace B, CD Horde, Halam 899, who is watching for the first time, Matt S, Hozcat, Kato Roan and his wrench, JD Brisbois, Matt Guy. Oh God, who else is here? Oh, you know what? There's a little thing I can use up here, which I just discovered because I'm lame. Here, we'll do this again. Blizzard Boy, CD Horde, Felipe Diaz, Grace B, Halam 899, Hozcat, Ian Bachelor, or Lame Bachelor, sorry, JD Brisbois, Kato Roan, M Wims, Matt Guy, Matt S, New Messiah, Sebastian Simonson, Stephanie Littlepage, hello Stephanie, and Ted Distel are participating in the chat right now. Yes, I've been doing this for so long, and I just noticed last night that you can hit this little thing on top of the chat, and it says participants. Duh. Hey, I'm old man. Okay, Matthew Matson, hello. Tickaman Blade, greetings. Mary Ashmead and her wrench. I have yet to get my own notification. I don't know if you guys did. So, hello. It's the holiday weekend for many people. So, Bob Art Smith, greetings. Nathan Norman, greetings. And are you guys already started with the holiday, or any of you working today? Am I going to be background at work? I'll try not to cuss if that's the case. Truth Apocalypse, what's up? Dakota Stanton, I know you're working. He's definitely working. So I hope everybody's getting ready for Turkey Day here in the States. We do this, and in Canada too. We do Thanksgiving. And we eat turkey, and some of us watch football, the sports ball. I no longer do that. I gave up on football when Dean Spanos ripped my beloved Chargers out of San Diego and moved them to LA, so Dean Spanos can suck a bag of you-know-whats. Happy Thanksgiving, Lane Bachelor. How are you? Thank you very much. Yes. So it's been a crazy week here at the Nerdrotic channel. It was 1 week ago today. We were doing a live stream. And again, I want to say rest in peace, Stan Lee. The news hit about halfway through the live stream that he had passed. Some nice people in the chat brought it to my attention. Of course, I had to verify it, and that all happened viscerally live on the air. I was shaken a little bit, and I don't get shaken from celebrity deaths. I mean, I get bummed. I don't want people to die or anything, but I don't know these people. So, and Stan was old, okay, and we love Stan. The bigger news is some of the people out there who use that opportunity to trash Stan on the day of his death, to bring attention to themselves. Tom Brevoort, who is an editor at Marvel Comics, is one of these. He did a backhanded compliment to Stan. He works at Marvel. It was despicable. Absolutely despicable. So I'm glad some of my fellow YouTubers have taken aim at him and done a good job. Well deserved. Yes, we hit 7,500 subs last night. One of my videos is going nuts right now. So the Stan video did well, but I mean, I really wish it was under better circumstances. And to repeat to any of the people who are wondering, yes, I got super chats, and no, I don't feel bad for making money for doing this, but I am donating $500 to an organization that helps with elderly abuse in Stan's name. I'll let you guys know when that happens. It'll probably be closer to Christmas time, but I will announce it on a live stream and show you guys and everything. And hopefully that helps. It's only $500, but you know, I'm not a super rich dude, so or a rich dude. Thank you very much, Sebastian. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I've put a lot of hard work into this channel. Dennis has put a lot of hard work into here. Susan's like a warrior, and and she doesn't have to do the stuff she does, and it's brilliant. I really appreciate it, and yeah, and Mary and Cato and Viking Bitch and Mako and all the wrenches, Johnny Pappas. If I'm forgetting somebody, please forgive me. Pen Farm Girl, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. And they're also patrons and good friends. So yeah, yes, we're going to talk about Doctor Who again. Okay, it's a hot subject right now. So, but we won't talk about it the whole live stream. Also, Star Trek Discovery clapping back against YouTubers. It's not really happening that bad to me, but I did get demonetized on multiple Star Trek. Pretty much everything that says Star Trek lawsuit, I got demonetized, and I don't get demonetized very often. Like I like ever. So it's weird. I know some other channels do. A lot of the channels that like really go after, Star Wars or Star Trek and stuff, I'm sure they get demonetized. It's not fair, but they do, and I think it's just got something to do with the algorithm. You're going to see a lot of happy YouTubers. In case you guys don't know, today's YouTube payday. So if you see, it's kind of like when you go to work and it's Friday, you could tell everybody got paid. They're all we got paid. Yeah. So if you see a lot of happy YouTubers today or unhappy YouTubers, you'll know it's YouTube payday. It seems CBS can't handle criticism of STD, Grace B. They cannot. I spoke about this in a video that is coming out later this afternoon about the new era we are in, where there is no barrier between fans and franchises and actors, and some of the older IPs like Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who really haven't figured that out yet. There's no there's no customer service anymore, or they might need to develop one. I know they have social media marketing people. I don't know if they have like an HR person for social media for their employees. And they really need to develop some kind of policy, because the attacking fans thing is just never going to help. Now, some of the stuff we fans say is provocative, to say the least. But at least in this country, we can say that stuff. Mostly you just ignore it. But if it's a valid criticism, it's not filled with a bunch of F-bombs, and it's like, hey, I've been a fan for a long time, and I'm really concerned with the direction you're going, because this isn't, you've really gone away from the ideals of the show. You've gone away from the lore. And honestly, this is what got you here. No show is around for 50 years without having strong, story, strong lore, a good world building, canon. These are things that you have to respect. It's not something you have to live by 100%. And I don't think any fan would expect that. But when a large number of your fans, I would dare say a majority of your fans, are upset, you might want to listen. Okay. Anti-Trekker said something on his live stream that was right last night, which is, certainly I believe anybody, as a former business owner, as a business owner now, you got to listen to your fans, but you can't really let them make the creative decisions for you. No, we don't want that. We don't want to go that far, but you definitely want to listen to the grievances. And if it's a large number of them, maybe course correct. And actually, that's what we're getting in Star Wars and in Star Trek and possibly in Doctor Who. Chibnall possibly leaving and Jodie Whittaker possibly leaving. Maybe they're asked to leave, or maybe they want to leave. You never know, really. A lot of times it's mutual. And yeah, it does. Wow, something blinked. Did I blink on you guys? Something blinked. That was weird. Hope I'm still there. What's up, Tom? How's it going? It does sound familiar, doesn't it? And one of the arguments that we got from Doctor Who, I did a video on it that's coming out later. It sounds really familiar. And, hey, I am just going to talk about stuff that, as you notice, I don't rip Captain Marvel or stuff it's got to pertain to stuff we cover on our channel. So I've covered Doctor Who. Technically, our first podcast was a Doctor Who podcast. It's on my website somewhere. It was done Christmas Day with my son. I had a horrible cold. I sounded like Barry White, and we did Time of the Doctor, Matt Smith's last episode, and that was prior to me and Dennis's first podcast a few days later. Donna Troy for life. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Donna Troy in Titans. That'll be cool. Character consistency and canon building is part of a great show. See The Expanse. Right, Tom Wolfinger. And that's another thing I want to talk about a little bit later is The Expanse needs more fans. It's imperative. I don't think now that we've had time to think about it, we thought about the win. You know, we got the show saved. It's gone to Amazon, but like we need to like really be there for the show. Just because it's saved, just because Bezos said I want it for multiple seasons doesn't guarantee that. So, you know, we live to fight another day, but we can't like, you know, let our foot off the gas pedal. Firm believer in when you've got a little momentum, man, you punch it, Chewie. Let's go up to the chat here. And yeah, Halam899 is a Donna Troy fanboy. And so was my old manager at the Comic Outpost. He dug her. We'll see what they do. I am still on the fence with Titans. I remember the actress who plays Donna Troy and the Man in the High Castle. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about now. It's the sister that died, right? So Man in the High Castle is good, folks. That's a good show. The last season was I pretty good. It was, I mean, the first season is amazing. Like it is off the charts good. Right on. I was getting worried. Thought we'd need another Gary. Apple Crow can probably stand in for me. Apple Crow claims to be Gary Prime. So, oh yeah, we got Counterpart coming up. I'm so excited. I know I talk about that a lot, but it's such a good show. You really should be watching that. Okay, so Blizzard Boy asked if I was still at Tesla. No, I quit Tesla back in September. It was rather dramatic. I did not intend it to be that way. I was very unhappy, and it just came out all sideways. It did. A lot of weird stuff was going on, and it's no disrespect to Elon Musk, who I still respect a lot. I like him just as a person, as a visionary, and I love a crazy CEO who would, you know, spark a doobie. Although that's not what he did, but spark a doobie on a podcast. That's the kind of thing I like, even though I do not partake in the ganj. But do kids still call it ganj? Ganj? Is that an old statement now? Acid is one hell of a drug. Okay. Yes, it is. Ray Rain, how are you? How's it going? And Lubella, greetings. Joe, what is up, Joe? Hench for life, buddy. I am Adam, Prince of Eternia, Defender, the Secrets of Castle Grayskull. Yes, Nathan Norman. And hello, Dakota Stanton. I knew you would be at work. Yeah, thanks again for the congratulations for yeah, we've gotten 1,000 subs in a week. So that is I'm gonna have a drink of you know, Pete's, not sponsored by Pete's. Can you see the label anywhere? There it is. Pete's. If you don't have one in your neighborhood, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna take a sip. Oh my god, that's good. Blizzard Boy, what's up, Blizzard Boy? Are you a Blizzard fan? What did you think of the Diablo stuff? That's a little crazy. Stephanie Little Plage. In other news, Captain Robert April is now up to 815 subscribers. That is great. We got to get him to 1,000. So he was caught. Poor Captain Robert April, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong, Stephanie. Was caught in the change when YouTube, it used to be just all you had to have was 10,000 views to get monetized. Then they changed it to 1,000 subs and 40,000 hours of watch time, or 4,000 hours of watch time a month, 4,000 watch. And he got caught in that. So he was monetized and now he's not monetized, but he has to get up to 1,000. We'll get you there. I will say by the end of the year, we'll have you there. Captain Robert April. It's a good dude. Um, I'm gonna send you guys a DM on the last video you did. I'm gonna recommend a title. Okay, it might help it. I know a little secret about that stuff. Uh, Bill Maher can walk off a short pier already. Yeah, Bill Maher is being himself, a provocateur, a d bag, a pretentious smug jerk. That's kind of what he's always been. The thing is, a lot of the people he pissed off loved him, shared his videos, dug him, just ate up everything. And I'm not going to say Bill Maher's at the end of his argument about comic books. Was erroneous. He's basically saying that comic books dumbed down America. No, actually, if it wasn't for comic books, I wouldn't have a vocabulary at all. That's what taught me how to read. I have a teeny bit of a learning disability, so everything I read, I have to read twice, three times. So books, I just couldn't get through them at first. I can now, but it was comic books that taught me how to read. So you know, I'm doing okay. I'm not, genius or anything, but yeah, screw that. Yeah, and of course, yes, I make my living off comic books. I have and will be making my living off comic books. And I've seen, yes, I've seen the bad. There's tons of bad in that industry. It's kind of a nasty industry, but there's also tons of good and joy and just a love of art and fun and escapism, which really plays a good part in our world today, especially now. It is so rubbish, Doctor Who, and I am in the UK, says Michael Sturlitz. Yeah, more people are. I think a lot of people were giving Doctor Who a chance. Michael, or I'm sorry, Mikhail, my bad. And that's what most people do. They're like, hey, let's give Jodie a chance. Let's give this new showrunner a chance. And we're 7 episodes deep. The show hasn't hit its stride. There's tons of problems. Is Jodie the biggest problem? No, she's not the biggest problem. She's doing a David Tennant impression. That's pretty much what everybody is saying. I talked to a professional writer of television day before yesterday, a good friend of mine who has written episodes of a big TV show, has written a movie, knows his stuff. Is a very Hollywood guy. Would be very friendly to the whole concept of Jodie Whittaker and what's going on with the politics on that, and he doesn't like it. He basically says there's too many companions. They needed to really focus on the Doctor and maybe one companion. Everybody's getting lost in the background. They're meaningless plots. And the thing is, they're trying to especially with the Rosa episode, we have Digital Spy and stuff saying that that's the best Doctor Who episode ever. So that's better than Blink. No, it wasn't. Think about it rationally as an episode of television, not about the event itself. The Doctor didn't do anything. The Doctor didn't do anything. She stopped a space racist that looked like Fonzie, and who we never found out why he was mad. He was just there cuz I guess they didn't feel like that was important, the writers. And yeah, so as an episode of television, wasn't good. As far as CBS is concerned, I just have a theory. This is just me. This is just me. It's weird that just the CBS lawsuit stuff is demonetized. It leads me to believe that maybe that corporations have some kind of a in with YouTube where they can pick and choose stuff, or they can threaten to not advertise if you don't do something about this. And then YouTube, kind of in protecting us, says, hey, we'll demonetize them, but there's not much else we can do, because we don't know all the ins and outs. So the Star Trek Facebook group won't even allow my Nicholas Meyer interview because I don't maybe it tells the truth. You know how well history works for the repressor in the repressed right? Yes. Unless, of course, they win. But they're not going to. I like this term. They're really on the wrong side of history for this, Tom. They are. When time goes by, even the people who are saying they like Star Trek Discovery will be, this is just like when the prequels came out. When the prequels came out, they had defenders, man. They had defenders. It split the community. Then the internet wasn't that big, but I remember it. I was, shit. I was 30. I was there. And it did the same thing and had the same thing. But as time went on, more and more people started, yeah, the prequels suck. And now we've gone so far that the prequels are all of a sudden good again. Or I hear people going, Revenge of the Sith is a good movie. It's better than the Disney stuff, but yeah, come on. Come on now. A few YouTubers have been flagged for covering the STD reviews. Yes, Hozcat. And that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, if you mean flagged as in like false flagged or copyright, the copyright stuff, they have a right to do that. It sucks, but if you put up any of their footage, they're gonna nail you. Even whether it's right or wrong, they have it goes to review and then you win, but it hurts your video. So I don't know if it's that important to put the footage up there. But it also it's good to show that they are watching and they because that stuff is done manually, folks. It's not an algorithm. So CBS tried to give everyone STD and it failed. It did. It did. CBS Baka. Hail Chris Persia. Halam 899 says Harry Potter is turning into the X-Men movies, not knowing their own canon. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna fit. That's supposed to be a 5-movie series. I've already forgotten about the movie. It just was nothing. There's no rhyme or reason to what YouTube does. Apparently, they are too big to fail, says Natasha Coulter. Yeah, well, when a corporation gets this big, and it's big, it's like massively big, and it's part of another massively big corporation. Yeah, it's like Hydra. It's like Hydra. Yeah, don't forget to lick that button. Legalize ranch sauce. Is it illegal? Oh man. Well, what kind of ranch sauce are we talking about, JD? Robert Richards. Greetings. First time watching live in the UK. Hi, guys. Bob R. Hey, welcome, Robert or Bob. Welcome to our chat. There's a lot of very informative, smart, and funny people in here. I'm not one of them. No company can handle the crap which us, the public, give them about how bad and no idea how to give a good product. They don't, Mikhail. They and the funniest thing is the focus group thing is relatively new within the last 20 25 years, and really I think companies need to do a focus group on, do you need focus groups? Because a lot of good stuff happened without focus groups. A lot of good movies happened without screen tests. Did anyone see the Twitter survey that the BBC put out the other day about what viewers thought was the most scary monster of season 11? Uh, really? Oh man, I gotta find that. PB props. Almost everyone said Chibnall. That is brilliant. Oh, God bless the internet, man. I fucking love it. That's it. Oh man, I got see PB props. I'm gonna add that. I'll give you PB props. I'll give you props because I got to add that to my video. It really would get my point across if that hasn't happened already. Character consent. Oh, I've already read that one. God damn it. CBS, the new plan of crab people to take over the earth. Sebastian, maybe just CBS. Maybe some crab people take over CBS. Sweet vindication after interview, despite the Trek Facebook group repressed us. Yeah, getting that interview is a huge deal, by the way, folks. So the great Nicholas Meyer, director of Star Trek 2, Star Trek 6, unfortunately a consultant on Star Trek Discovery. You got to check out his interview. Tom, did you interview him? Tom interviewed him on Midnight's Edge After Dark. I'll put a link in the description when this video is done. But please go over there and check him out. Like, share, and subscribe. I have not seen it yet, Tom. I'm sorry. I've been super duper busy. I'm going to see it after this video while I'm waiting for mine to render. If you can't show run 11 quality episodes in 12 months, leave, says Mr. B Natural. Exactly. And in the Starburst article, Chris Chibnall, and I said it in my video, had said that a season a year of Doctor Who is unsustainable, or is not doable. He said he basically, I think he said unsustainable, or keeping this kind of work is unsustainable. They pump out the Expanse every year. Yeah, there's tons of, Battlestar Galactica made it every year. I think there was a little break for their last season, but yeah, don't give me that. And there's not that many, especially this year, there's not that many special effects in Doctor Who. Um, you can tell the plot, the budget has been slashed for that show. It is obvious. They're shooting with better cameras, so that makes things look really pretty. But the actual effects, that it also exposes really bad special effects. That's why, it's the same thing as like you don't want to watch 4K porn. I mean, if you do that kind of thing. The government, something did blink. The government is watching you. Yeah, Joe, my screen blinked for some reason. I don't know why, but it's okay now. The Expanse is so underrated. It is. And we really, really need to get more people watching that show. The thing is, here's what you worry about, okay? Because and there's a few of you in there that in the chat. While I say this full with all respect, I love you guys, but there's people out there who just if too many people say they like something, they're just not going to like it because they're fucking contrarians. One of them might actually be a co-host on this show on Friday night, who's not Susan. Dennis is a lifelong contrarian, okay, and he knows it. And yeah, so there's some people, if people are talking it up because Doomcock's talking it up, I'm talking it up, Annie Trekker's talking it up, just a ton of people. Alt Shift X is doing Expanse videos now, and this is great. We're trying to do our part to spread the word, but my worry is people are just going to see it and go, I heard all these people talk about it, it's not that great. It's like, for one, I mean, like, really give the show a chance. For me, I was in the first episode, but there's pretty much the first. You got to watch the first 2 episodes, okay? Because the way the first episode ends, and maybe you just don't like sci-fi, and that's cool. I think this actually has brought in a lot of non-sci-fi fans due to the story structure. Biggest problem with Doctor Who. Biggest problem with Doctor Who is the one-off episodes. Doctor Who is not the type of show. It should have an overarching story. Okay. It should have a plot they should stick with the entire season, and you can weave in and out it. But they stopped doing that after season 7, basically, and they just did one-off episodes, and it's not made for that. That's the kind of people who watch Doctor Who are the kind of people who are going to watch every episode, want a bigger story. They want more. These one-off meaningless episodes that are just completely disposable. Yeah, that's what's killing the show. And politics, just too many goddamn politics. And like, they must, Tom, I'm gonna talk to you. They must be watching some of our videos, and I mean Star Trek and Doctor Who, and Star Wars, because it seems like it's funny that Clownfish TV and then I put out a video, and a couple other people have, about Doctor Who being too PC. Next day, there's an article about defending it. I just thought that was interesting timing. Maybe not. Probably Clownfish TV, not my video, but I need to take another sip of coffee. Sorry. I just discovered Clownfish TV, by the way. They're pretty good. Comrade Bernfred, Putin's Haxfielder. Hail Satan! Hail Doomcock! Hail me! Hail you! Guess mumbling on. Hail Satan, Comrade Bernfred, and hail and Namaste, or whatever. Namastad, whatever the hell it is. I don't know anything about religion, so. You believe that about the regulations? It doesn't even look like it doesn't even look like a real gun, a bunch of horseshit. Although there's more proof that nobody is watching compared to old Trek. Oh, are you talking about? Okay, that's a response, Tom. There are yeah, that's interesting. I'm wondering if SC is going to come in here. I wonder if you're out there, SC. SC has been quite the defender of Star Trek, Tom. Um, there are some people who have come out and said that Midnight's Edge is full of crap, and I do not believe it at all. I talked to Tom. I talked to Rob. These aren't guys who just go out half cocked and say shit. Andre does not do that. They are. I would look at them as a news organization who checks their sources, has legit sources, and they don't just go off of one source. Okay, they have to. They have to. Yeah. So I mean, listen. Yeah, they're not like that at all. I 100% believe what they report. Believe me, folks, I bet they hold back on stuff that would rock your world about Star Trek because they don't have multiple sources to check on stuff. Um, man, I'm waiting to tell you guys a story. I told it to my Patreons yesterday, but I got to get permission. But it is the ultimate story of failing upward of all time in Hollywood. Uh, so, and it's about Toby Emmerich. So I'm checking a couple things. So Friday night, I can honestly, I'll let you know that we will probably have confirmation to tell this story about Toby Emmerich, who I believe is he running Warner Brothers right now or just high up in Warner Brothers? Yeah, that's a tease. That's what's called a tease. Um, you were a drug addict once, but you do not know anything about religion. Oh, comrade, I just don't want to talk about religion. I know I went to church when I was a kid. Um, yes, you experienced both God and Satan. Yes, I did. I did. So CBS is going to win. Doctor Who is better than ever. Yes, that's it. That's it. Just give up now. Oh, okay, gotcha. Midnight. Yeah, I can't see that in there. Gotcha. Oh, whatever. The only thing I ask is, like, why are you defending the show? Is your mom in it or something? Like, what? Like, really? The show's not that good. Come on. Even the defenders go, well, it's Star Trek. So when you have to say it's as your defense of a show, it's got the logo. It doesn't even get the goddamn logo right. The logo is 25% different. That's why I believe Midnight's Edge. Besides the fact, say I never talked to them, but they said everything's got to be 25% different. Why would you change the iconic Star Trek logo? Huh? Just asking. $5 super chat from the great CC, our patron. Thanks for recommending great content. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs was really good, and I'm enjoying The Expanse. Aw, thanks, CC. Okay. Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Coen Brothers movie. If you're into the Coen Brothers, it's on Netflix. Check it out. It's really good. It's a bunch of Western short stories. It's really, really cool. The original series, 3 seasons. Enterprise, 4 seasons. STD, 2 seasons. But those 3 seasons of the original series were like 30 episodes. So, I mean, you got to kind of factor that in. At least the first season is, right, Mr. B Natural? But I totally get your point. His little happy face right there. I gotcha. Disco looks cheap though, like early 2000s cheap. Andromeda looks better than Disco, and Kevin Sorbo is by far better than by far better individual actor than Burnham. Nathan Norman, yes. Having seen one episode of Andromeda, I will agree with you. Hail Midnight's Edge. Richard Bussetti says, Hail Midnight's Edge. Hail Nerdrotic Channel. Hail Mary Ashmead. Definitely Hail Midnight's Edge. The work of champions this week. I was just shocked when you got the interview with Nicholas Meyer, and I'm like, maybe are they gonna start giving us people to interview? Are they gonna try to work with? Are they gonna try to win us over with their charm? Or I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think because I don't know any of the inside scoop. But that is awesome. That is fucking brilliant. So Good on you, mate. Um, the Expanse is actually amazing. Just give it a try. It really is. Not lying to you, folks. I'd say The Expanse rivals Star Trek, the original series, and potential of long-term impact. Says in the eyes of Morbo. Yes, I 100% agree with that. This if they have to do some finagling with the books, but they have done that, and they've made improvements on the books, in my opinion. I got hooked on the second episode, said Feisty Fan. Meyer confirmed there was a controversy and STD needed to be fixed. Boom. Whew. That's the mic dropping right there. I mean, people can believe what they want to believe, but I'll restate this again. If there wasn't a problem with Star Trek Discovery, then why did they go against their own word and bring back Spock, bring in Pike, fire 2 showrunners, and they had to recorrect the show halfway through? This is all documented stuff that's out there. That is, it has had problems from the get-go. And don't forget, SC, Midnight's Edge reported on this stuff, God, months before Star Trek Discovery came out, and everything they said turned out to be freaking true. So, I mean, like, if I don't know, if maybe I'm just theorizing, if you're paid to defend or you just really want to defend, that's cool. I mean, do your job. Tom can defend himself. He's got the facts on his side, and us. But a civil discourse is fine. Like, as long as you remain civil, that is cool. I don't have a problem with you being in the chat. Just don't take it over, or you will be gone. CBS can kiss my butt. Other than the soaps and some of the other shows, I avoid CBS like a bad case of the clap. Stephanie Littlepage. And bless your heart for watching the soaps. I used to love soaps when I was a kid, getting stoned, watching Santa Barbara, CC Capwell. SMU Pony, you are 100% correct. Doctor Who's single biggest problem is the writing. And they, they tried that BS defense with you're sexist, you're an ist or an ism because you don't like the quality of the show. And that's part of the reason they do this whole diversity thing. It's to deflect against criticism. I mean, we can all agree that a big corporation, their first intention is not to be, politically correct. It's to make money. So to be politically correct, they think they can make money from it because they think that's which way the wind is blowing right now. And in their defense a little bit, when stuff goes into production, it's like 2 years ago. So the finished product you're seeing now was started 2 years ago. So this is the problem with being topical and reflecting the society of today. Society, because of social media and news and cable news for years now, changes at a whim. So your society reflection becomes dated by the time your product comes out. That's why it's best not to do that stuff, especially in sci-fi. Don't date your stuff. The Matrix is perfect at this. The Matrix is a movie about computer hackers. It's like the most dated thing possible, but you can watch that movie today. Why? Because they didn't really show many computers. They show a CD, but everything's there's tons of analog stuff. It's kind of timeless. It's very much like Dark City in a lot of ways. But that's why it stands up today, because it didn't really date itself. That was any computer hacker movie, like, won't last 5 years because it looks old. But that one stood the test of time. The first Matrix movie. Okay. I still think it's a classic. I love it. Yes, it has its flaws, but all movies do. I like The Expanse, but I more of a space fantasy, aka Warhammer 40K, says Sebastian Simonson. I am too. I like dark fantasy a little more than sci-fi myself, but they mix that in. That's the good thing, is they took elements of Battlestar Galactica and elements of Star Trek and story structure of Game of Thrones. and made something fun. I miss the format of the original series. Now, which one? Star Trek or Doctor Who? Of Doctor Who, where they, it was like 4 half-hour episodes to tell a story. Yeah, I missed that too. I thought that was a good format. And honestly, why not go back to that? I think that would be fun to go back to. I've seen a couple things that do the half-hour episodes right that aren't animated. So, yeah. So, example, The Tick, Homecoming was pretty good. Those were half-hour episodes, and definitely the first two seasons of Ash versus Evil Dead. Half-hour television shows work now. I think they work well, especially when a show is being watched as much. I mean, maybe more than the overnight viewing by binging. And binging half-hour episodes is a lot easier. Trust me. The short treks are not helping. The short treks prove Tom's case as well. They're turning out. I mean, they empty ships, film in between production. You can't see them in Europe. Why can't you see them in Europe? If Netflix is paying for everything, why not just pay for the short treks too? If there's such a sugar daddy to CBS All Access, then why aren't they buying the short treks then? Because Midnight's Edge is right. Doomcock is right. They didn't want to buy them. And believe me, Europe, you're better off for it. And I compared the Ballad of Buster Scruggs to the short treks. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs tells 5 stories in 18 minutes or under. I think one is over 20 minutes. And by the end of every story, and a lot of them are they're typical Coen brothers. They're funny and they're sad. When a character passes on, you feel it. You actually feel it. You're like, oh, or it depends on the comedy hits perfectly. There's one really tragic one. That's just a bummer. The Tom Waits episode is amazing. Tom Waits is he's an American treasure. Tom Waits, okay, American treasure. He was brilliant. And I think my theory is why a lot of people are kind of bashing it right now is because Netflix put this out in theaters, and it's not going to win any awards. Believe me, the movie industry does not like Netflix right now because they're changing it. Hollywood might be moving north, and yeah, they're going to have a serious problem with it. But this was a movie that should have been in theaters. Absolutely should have been in theaters. I don't know if it's the kind of movie that maybe it's past its time though. If this movie came out in theaters in the 90s, it would do great. Like an Oh Brother, Where Art Thou probably wouldn't get released in theaters now. It would probably get released in on limited release, Netflix streaming, something like that. DJ Odyssey. Problem is, those that are so far for garbage, like the new Who, STD, Star Wars, the new ones will see you talking up the Expanse and hear much we hate the others and then just go against the Expanse. Yep, that's a very good point, DJ Odyssey. That's a very good point. That's why we try to mix it up. I don't do a lot of rants on this channel at all, and they're usually within like our Friday night podcast. I don't do a ton of videos. I don't plan to do a ton of videos. Listen, the Doctor Who stuff has been pent up for a long time. All right, this is a show I actually watch. There's a lot of people talking about Doctor Who right now, but like I watch it. I've been watching it for years. I'm a big fan. I'm a bigger fan of Doctor Who than I am of Star Trek, or I was. I'm not a fan of the current stuff. Love the old stuff. That's never going to change. But the current stuff is messing with the canon. That's the biggest problem. If they made an alternate universe or something like that, I wouldn't even do a video. I wouldn't care. It would still suck, but I wouldn't care. But DJ Odyssey, that is a great point, and that's why we have to temper that stuff. We have to mix in the good with the bad. That's coming. That's coming. Thankfully, some good television's coming right around the corner. Yeah. But if that's a DJ Odyssey, my retort to that will also be if that's how you see the world, If it's just I'm gonna hate that because they like it, then yeah, I don't know how much of yeah, a geek and a nerd you are. That would be my retort to that. Maybe you're just one of those newbies I've been talking about. So, I mean, that's why the term fake geek girl, fake geek boy gets thrown around. They need to really understand what fandom is and what geekdom is. It's always been like this. It's just we can talk to each other now. This is nothing new. It's a shock to the powers that be, to some actors who are new to genre, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're so toxic." No, we've always been like this. But there's Twitter now and there's YouTube. Any of us who have spent any time in a comic shop, I spent 10 years in one. This is just a comic book shop. This is just another day at the comic book shop. The conversation we're having right now. Uh, Andre has lighting coming out of his nipples, says Tiki of Doom. Really? That's wow. Are they laser beams or just lighting? If you go to my website, nerdrotic.com, and you see me setting, no, I haven't taken the trash out yet. If you see me setting Star Trek Discovery on fire, I cut a video to Disco Inferno. I know it's a little on the nose, but it really works. But I can't do that on YouTube. So nerdrotic.com, check it out. Trying to catch up with the chat now. Feisty, I love you too. Love you all. Gotta do the comic book stuff. Have a great day, Nerdrotic channel. Feisty fan works in an undisclosed comic book location. I'm really trying to talk her into like coming out and being putting her lovely face on camera and shouting out where she works. Hopefully we could talk her into it by the end of the year before I accidentally say her name. Oh my god, I almost did that to Poor Comics Division the other day too, on his own damn show. I meant lightning. Oh, okay. Sorry, Tiki. I should have read that. My bad. He had lightning coming out of his nipples. That's gnarly. Tim F says, "What's up?" Midnight's Edge says, "Sorry to duck out to prep show. Still listening, but if anybody said anything in the chat, I'm sorry I missed it. I'll make sure to pass it on if I see it." Midnight's Edge. Yeah, get to work, man. It's all good. Have a good day. Looking forward to whatever you have next. It's not toxic. You come into a convention that has rules. Don't expect to be loved when you ignore them. Apple Crow, well said. Well said. And that's all it is fandom. It's been around a long time and it does have rules. There are certain things out there that you don't bash, you don't whatever. You want to come in, and I've made this analogy before. It's like the wedding, the marriage analogy. You get married, but you didn't live together, and all of a sudden, or a girlfriend or a partner or whatever wants to move into your place, and you got to give up half your space, and that's cool. But this is like the partner coming in and taking over the entire apartment or house and putting all your shit in the closet of the basement that doesn't have a light. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I mean, yes, our side needs to work. We need to work with each other on this. And from my perspective, I don't mind new stuff. I don't mind diverse casting. I don't care who is on the screen as long as the story is good. I really don't care. I don't need I have never understood the whole I need to be able to identify with my character. I'm sorry. Like okay, when I was a kid, yes, I identified with Peter Parker, but as an adult, I don't need to identify with the Silver Surfer. I like the Silver Surfer. Um I've actually tried surfing. I suck at it. But I don't surf in space. I'm not silver. Yes. I don't know, I am not familiar with Zenla, but I enjoy the Silver Surfer. I don't need to identify. I don't need to project myself into a character. I just need to be entertained. I've never understood that. Yes. Well, toxic is getting people get angry. You're right. OG Spock love. Toxic is getting angry at other people for having different opinions or being actual fans. That whole actual fans thing. We all think we're actual fans. Okay. And we are. We all are. It's that's a valid argument. What makes a bigger fan? The one who spends the most money or spends the most time? Both. Both. I'll have I had guys coming into the comic book store. They wouldn't buy a goddamn thing, but they knew everything about it. They had read all this, because they torrented stuff. So they'd come into the comic shop to talk comic books, even though they wouldn't buy anything from me. And I was like, whatever, they can't afford it. I don't judge, whatever. But they would come in and talk about it. And then there was the guy who owned everything from Spider-Man. So there's the guy who's read every Spider-Man but doesn't own anything because he's, poor or broke or more responsible and spends his money on other stuff. And there's the guy who's got the money and has bought everything, but maybe hasn't read everything. Who's the bigger fan? So that argument, I mean, but that's the fun part of it. What's that's what people actually look forward to. People love the debate and the arguing and stuff. That's part of the deal with fandom. It's not a bunch of people going, this is awesome. No, this is awesome. You're awesome. No, you're awesome. Everything's awesome. No, that is not fandom. That is a childish view of fandom. Are you feeling awesome today? I am. No, that's not even balanced. Yeah. People get upset. Being angry is okay. Just don't be angry all the time, I mean, but if you're angry at something, talk about it. It's really good. It's very healthy to sit there and talk about it and get it out and vent. Then you can move about your day. Right on, man. I will lead in. I will be sure to lead in. I'll let you know when I'm going to be done. I have no idea when I'm going to be done right now, but I'll have a better idea. I'll give you a message. I'll shoot you a message. We know the universe inside out, upside down, and all of the mirror universe stuff too. What, Star Trek fans? Yeah, a real Star Trek fan. You can gauge a Star Trek fan, like to Trekkie or Trekker, because they're the first fandom. They're the ones who created fandom. So that is one you can gauge based on their knowledge of lore. Same with like Lord of the Rings, and to a certain extent, Game of Thrones or Star Wars, if you're into the whole extended universe stuff, which honestly I'm not. But yeah, Tom Waits was in Dracula. Yes, he played Renfield. Tom Waits, like I said, American treasure. I saw him on my birthday 5 years ago. It was with Derek Robertson, and it was one of the best shows I've ever fucking seen. It was so good. It was at the Bridge Music Festival, which is a music festival. There's a bridge school here. It's a music school for disabled kids. It's awesome, and they get like the biggest bands to come down and play acoustic down at Shoreline, which is Shoreline Amphitheater here in San Francisco. Is built on a landfill, so on the sides of the venue are these giant methane vents. That's fun. I hate that place. Uh, nip laser, nipple laser beams. What's up, Wellas? Working and lurking, says Tim F. Don't be a walla koya. I'm really trying to learn my belter. So by next season, I'm gonna be able. I want to like do a couple of sentences in belter. They're working on it. I know like it's still a language being worked on, but it is it's cool. It's a little bit of everything. A little Spanish, a little Cajun. Um, uh I'd find it kind of funny if BBC made the last episode of the current incarnation Doctors run into this. You find the new doctor is actually the female reincarnation of the Valyard, the evil doctor. Says Lordicius. Did I say that right? I'm sorry. Let me know how to pronounce that so I don't fuck it up. I don't like fucking up names, although I do it a lot. That would be hilarious and funny, and that would piss everybody off. And I would praise that. I would take back everything I said about the BBC if they did that. They did that. I would say I was sorry. I would handwrite an apology. And I would love that. Oh my God, that would be the best thing ever. Here's my guess. They're going to bring back one of the male doctors in season 12, and it will be the Valyard. Although we've heard about the Valyard coming back pretty much since 2005. And why they haven't brought back the Valyard, I don't know. I don't know. I hope you're doing good today. Trying to catch up on the chat. Steele Johnson, what is up? How's it going? With a name like that, it's probably going pretty good, right? Koba, I missed a €5 super chat. Koba, I am sorry. God, that was 20 minutes ago. I really suck. Sarah Jane Adventures had a woman lead and a diverse cast and was awesome because the writing was good. Yes, I own every episode, and it's a kid show that adults can watch. Listen, one of the main reasons I'm pissed about Doctor Who is it's something I watched with both my kids. It was like one of the rare things we all enjoyed. And when I dipped out is when both my kids dipped out. And they gave everything a chance, but both of them, and they're 10 years apart, thought the move to turn the Doctor to a woman was lame, but they were willing to give it a chance. And they're just like, it's boring and bad. And it sucks. So now I can't watch the show with my kids. But Koba, thank you so much for the €5. And yes, Elizabeth Sladen was awesome. Fucking Sarah Jane Adventures was awesome. And yeah, in a lot of ways, they had that trickster villain was the best villain, like better than any Doctor Who villain. That was a good villain. It was like a Doug Jones like Guillermo del Toro like villain. I got like a Pan's Labyrinth vibe. It was so cool. Sarah Jane was excellent, and that show would probably still be running if it was such a bummer when she passed. And what did they do for her? What did fucking Stephen Moffat do for her? Nothing. Like a brief mention on the show. I was so pissed about that. Like Russell T Davies would have done a show like centered around it or something. They should have definitely gone back and like revisited the kids and did something for closure on that, but I was super bummed. Mage Greywolf says, C.S. Lewis says, a children's story that can only be enjoyed by children is not a good children's story in the slightest. Agreed. Again, God, see, you guys are smart. You guys are bloody smart. Oh my Gary, you need Dennis? Do I need Dennis? Nah. I like Dennis though. Dennis will probably be. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's home today. Hang on, guys. I didn't even think about that. If he's home today, I'll invite him on. We'll do this live. We'll do it live. It's not like he ever watches the show. Watch this, Dennis. You're a complete total a-hole. You suck. I hate you. No, I can't really do that. I can't even jest about it. I'm trying to call him out, but I know he's not watching because he doesn't watch our show. I'm trying to figure out who watches our show more, Melissa or Dennis. I know Susan watches. Let's see. Are you home? On. There, I sent him an invite. Comrade Bernfred Axfielder, I love you. I really do. But I have to play with my Xbox now. Red Dead Redemption 2 is calling. Sorry, female NPCs need some slapping. Dennis rocks. What are you talking about? Dennis does rock, my friend. And I listen, go play RDR2. I'm planned to actually start that this weekend. I'm not a gamer, but that's the game I like. It's like there's like 3 games I like. Oh, you rock too, Persia, Chris Persia. Thank. No, it's all good. I love Dennis. Yeah, Mary, I hope you feel better. I know you went to the doctor recently. I hope that all went well. Susan's a nerd queen, man. She's the boss, dude. She's the boss. Susan's straight up the boss. So an invite has been sent to Dennis, so I don't know if he's there or not. They should bring back the Warlord in Doctor Who, or the meddling monk as a recurring villains. Nathan, they don't want to bring back anything, and I don't understand that. Again, I'll use the sports analogy. You always want to give yourself the best chance to win. Then why would you leave out the Daleks and the Cybermen? I know, like, Moffat never could figure out the Cybermen or the Daleks because Moffat is straight up a postmodern writer. So he doesn't believe in. You notice all his villains are like technology that just misinterpreted something or misbehaving robots. And when he brought out the straight up villain shit, he had problems. Misty as the master was decent. Okay, that was pretty good. His only good to me, the only good Dalek episode was really the only really good Clara episode was Asylum of the Daleks. I did like that. Although the whole Rory and Amy divorce thing was weird. And that's what he did. He would always, every time he started a new season, it felt like I missed a season. It's like they're divorced now. Wait a minute, because in season 6 they were all happy and inviting the doctor in for Christmas, and now they're divorced. So I feel like I missed an entire season. Moffat just, yeah, he just he didn't care about his own lore at all. He was Mr. Red Herring. But the more I find out, guys, the more it looks like it's the BBC and not these writers. I mean, and that doesn't, hey, all these writers signed their names on the dotted line. They all got paid. They all did the job. But maybe that's why Chibnall's leaving. And Starburst magazine did point out, and I should point out in the video, that he said he never wanted the job. And the rumors I heard were he's like the 3rd or 4th person they asked. And a lot of people just said flat out no. I wonder if Neil Gaiman was asked. Do you wonder if Neil Gaiman was asked? I wonder that. It seems that it's Rian Johnson all over again. Selfish writing, only caring about the short term, not caring about the possible long term. Oh man, I'm going to mess up this name, but I'm going to try. Okay, because that was really good. Luisic Ni Chemion. Spell that out for me. Okay. That was well said. When you're sacrificing character for basically high fives with your homies. So like, oh man, did you see how I got that in? That's awesome. Agenda, that's what they say when they high five. They go, agenda. That's what I imagine anyway. I've had the Travelers in my queue forever. Dennis likes the Travelers. I'm going to check it out. I didn't watch Timeless, but a couple of people have pointed out that Timeless has Doctor Who's kind of copied Timeless in a couple of things. I don't know this for a fact. Crimson Empire Entertainment. I want Russell T Davies back. Oh, me too. Me too, dude. Like so bad. You really appreciate him more as time goes on. He hasn't done. I mean, has he done? I can't say. I haven't seen anything he's done post Sarah Jane and Torchwood and Doctor Who. Is it any good? Yes, Gary, I started the season. What the fuck? Says Natalie England. Yeah. Do. Love the Expanse as well. One of the best shows on TV right now. Love seeing Miller again. Yes, Jesse Hayes. It was great to see the great Tom Jane back. Tom Jane is not in enough stuff. Uh, PB Prop says Nerdrotic channel. I wish I could tell you what Capaldi said to me once about his future in the show while he was filming his last season. He didn't know that it was his last at the time. I heard something to that effect too, PB Props. Um, Capaldi was a huge fan of the show. Like, owned the toys, like was a major geek. Remember when he started, like he said, I'll be here forever. Like, and all of a sudden, like the tune changed. All of a sudden, he's like, I'm getting tired. Uh, and that seems to be happening a lot. I think there's tons of interference with the show because the actors, everybody's all excited at first, and then like, boo, a year in, everybody's starting to get tired, and it's impossible to film entire seasons. It must just be a crappy corporate stale experience. Because yeah, Capaldi was like gung ho. Like he was like, I will be a doctor as long as they like. I mean, they're gonna have to rip this away from me. And that then it seemed like he couldn't wait to get away. And it sounds like they wanted to get rid of him. Um, I would have loved to have seen another writer take a crack at Peter Capaldi. Like Neil Gaiman was begging to write scripts, and Moffat. Moffat seems like the kind of guy that once you cross him once, like you are just dead to him. Like there's no, and that happens a lot with the egos and artists and stuff. That actually happens a ton. Um, if you are, if you, Nerdrotic channel, if you have to exposition explain your character on a show to make the BS seem it's possible, then you haven't written a character. You have written a caricature equals fail. Nathan Norman, another great comment. Absolutely. Example, just think of any show that you've watched in the last 2 years. And if somebody was a brilliant scientist, they would, they would work it into the story. They would show the scientist working on an experiment or writing a program or, explaining something scientific. Now, they just go into a lab and you'll see, usually a young lady, which is fine. We need more women scientists. They're great. Women are smart. We love them. But they just go, yay science and high five. And that's your background on them being a brilliant scientist, is just people saying they're a brilliant scientist. You got to do a little more than that. You got to show us. You can't just give us you can't just give the exposition. It has to be weaved in the story, and plus you have to stick with it. How many times have we seen these brilliant scientists and all of a sudden they're complete idiots? You got to be a scientist in everything. Problem is, writing scientists is hard because you have to do research and put in actual science. And I don't think the current crop of new writers want to do that much work. I think that's it, falls to that. It's simply, we don't want to do that much work. Peter Capaldi knew he was getting sacked and just wanted to be professional, says Jamie Knight. Absolutely. And he's the consummate professional. Sacking Peter Capaldi. And it probably was the changing wind there. It was the BBC came out and said it in that video I just did. Jeremy, the one about being 2PC, Jeremy Clarkson said it. He said the BBC announced that they were going to be hiring more women. They're not going to be hiring, basically, they're not going to be hiring older white men. What was Capaldi? An older white man. So, yeah. Now, statements like that from a company, I don't know about you over there, but like here, that's called illegal. It's called discrimination. You can't go out and say, I just want to hire this block of people. Some people have done it, and I've seen it. And they just don't enforce the law, but technically that's illegal. Uh, Ion Tron says, forever is a dangerous thing to say to a Time Lord. Exactly. Lloyd Watson. Hello there, dudes and dudettes. What's up, Lloyd? How's it going? Yes, Capaldi was a mega fan since he was a kid, says Aki Rose. Yeah. Um, Listen, I wasn't super happy with the Capaldi choice at first, and he won me over. And that's what Jodie Whittaker could have done. Now, Capaldi won me over because like he was just a good actor. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy like understands. I know a lot of people didn't like that Dark Doctor he started with, and I didn't at first, but it kind of grew on me. I was like, I like this. Um, that was one of the cool parts about Chris Eccleston. To me, did the while David Tennant and Tom Baker are my favorite. I think Chris Eccleston put in the best performance as the Doctor, just with the whole, just off the Time War thing, being tortured. You guys, such a great actor. Um, yeah, loved Eccleston. Woody Allen did some great stuff, some crap stuff. Six Scale Combat, he did, including allegedly sleeping with his stepdaughter, unless of course they fell immediately in love when she turned 18. Yeah, not a Woody Allen fan. Uh, Honestly, my resentment goes way back before this. Sung Lee, is that her name? I don't know. Is Annie Hall winning over Star Wars for Best Picture? And I know I can hear now. Annie Hall was a good movie. Uh, yeah, but Star Wars was, an American classic. Um, I don't know about not much today, but yeah, one of the greatest movies of all time. Should have won Best Picture. How realistic is Mars? Like the show? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I need to see it. They have a theory on why one of Mars' moons has stripes. They think it's bouncing rocks. Sometimes we all have to remember that we're monkeys who can do math, and yeah, we're funny. They did Capaldi wrong, says Natalie England. They did all the way around, all the way around, and he was nothing but a champion for the BBC. I hope they make it up to him. I really do. Uh, and I could say publicly, like, I was critical of him at first. I'm sorry, man. You won me over. Like, I was wrong. You're awesome. And I freaking miss you. I miss Capaldi's Doctor. I go back and watch The Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline from time to time. I was so bummed when they brought back the Time Lords and they were like dumb. I was like, oh, I thought they were really building up to something really cool. And then, yeah. I liked Grump Doctor in series 8. What the fuck was the guitar playing funky Uncle Doctor in season 9? Jamie Knight, yeah, that was the thing. Is like I didn't mind either one of them, but they're not the same Doctor. Like, what happened between then? And that's my point with Moffat. It always feels like you missed a goddamn season in between seasons. It's like he wrote something else. Okay, remember Rory being the master theory? They should have totally gone through with that. That would have been the best fucking thing ever. And it looked like they were hinting towards it, and in the God complex with the door open for him, and yeah, like it was everywhere. And that's what Doctor Who's missing is like there was freaking forums and like Rory is the master videos, and that's when you know your show is a success, is when people are theorizing on plots within the show, like, oh my god, is Jon Snow going to come back, or is Rory the master, or like that's a sign of success. Now when nobody's talking about it, or the only people talking about your show are your show sucks, or Mikey Spock, or Doctor Who, and being PC, that's not good. That's not good. Now, we also, but we need people talking about your show, and that's how it relates to the Expanse. There is some great Expanse theories out there that I don't see enough people talking about. I think we need to get more people reading the books. But like the proto molecule, like who the fuck made it? Why? And is it a parallel to other, which it is, by the way, it's a parallel to other smaller stories within the book, which is basically when humanity reaches, we tend to reach out and test our boundaries. And then we tend to lose a few fingers when we do this, or as an analogy, of course, we lose a lot of people. A lot of people die every time we reach out a little bit more. And maybe the proto molecule kind of did the same thing. And yeah. And then what killed the proto molecule? Who knows? We like, these are things I want to know. Manweller one said Torchwood sucked. I wouldn't go that far. It was definitely inconsistent. There were parts of it that sucked. It was a good concept, not executed very well. I think season 3 was, but that's cool. If you think it sucked, I can see where you're coming from on that. I'm also a huge Doctor Who fan. And listen, I got my bias too. Like, I'll forgive some stuff because I just dig it. So that's why I can kind of understand why people would have been on the wagon for Star Trek Discovery or this Doctor Who, especially Doctor Who, because it's still new. So I can understand why it still has Defenders. Star Trek Discovery, I do not understand why it still has Defenders. We are 2 shorts in, and does that give you any inclination that they are going to change their ways from season 1 at all? No. Absolutely not. I think they're going to double and triple down, and they're going to do it with Pike and Spock just to send that middle finger up, because people in Hollywood, I'm going to newsflash here, have egos, and yeah, they're not really humble. So they're not really into changing stuff for fans. You've gotten that far in Hollywood because you have a very strong ego and you're very confident in your work. So there's no way they're going to go, oh, maybe the fans are right. No. Wishful thinking. They're going to come out slinging. And so will we. Lloyd Watson says Helen Bonham Carter would have been a better choice for the female doctor. Jodie Whittaker doesn't have the presence, or the chat just jumped on me. I'm sorry, man. God dang it, where'd it go? It just jumped on me. I'm sorry, but yes, what you were saying is Jodie Whittaker doesn't. Helen Bonham Carter would have been better. I agree. Yeah, Jodie Whittaker does not have charisma at all. I think she does the facial expressions and stuff. I think it's a bit too much. Dennis has said this, and I agree with Dennis. She plays it too manic. The doctor is not manic. The doctor is kind of wispy and all over the place, but there's a confident control there, Koba, that was, yeah, I'm blanking on the name. Koba, Capaldi and Heaven Sent. Before, like, Hellbent, I didn't like, but Heaven Sent was good. On his own was great. That one man show thing was, that was good. Probably one of the best worst. I like out of 2-parters, it had the best beginning and the worst ending. I have Son of a Red Shirt. I have tons of love for John Pertwee's Doctor Who. Nobody, and I mean nobody, rocked the purple crushed velvet smoking jacket like that man. His son plays Alfred on Gotham. You probably knew that. And Son of a Red Shirt, I did. And I've said on this podcast, and I will say it again, the Third Doctor is one of my favorite Doctors. His first episode is funny as hell, and it's a perfect mixture of comedy and but adventure and fun. The scene where he's in taking the shower and running, like, it was so goddamn funny. Yeah, I love the Third Doctor. Karate Doctor, Action Doctor. That was fucking awesome. Like, he is more of the Kirk of the Doctor Who than anybody else. Was the Third Doctor. I have a theory that the execs want the Doctor Who show killed off because they've embraced that sci-fi is one of the highest rated because they're embarrassed that sci-fi is one of the highest rated shows on the BBC. I don't know. Maybe they're like the old execs for CBS who just didn't like it. That happens quite a bit. Like, this happens to be your best show, but I hate it. because they like shows that are successful that don't cost a lot of money. And Doctor Who probably costs a lot of money. Star Trek costs a lot of money. What they want is Big Brothers and dancing shows where all they have to do is flip for a studio somewhere that they can just rent out, or they probably get for free for advertising. Um, and yeah, they don't have to make sets or do special effects or put up with costume designers or any of that shit. They know that the execs at a TV show like want as little money going out as possible and as much coming in as possible, and the art and all that stuff be damned. Um, oh, Man of Action, I'm so with you that I want Expanse GI Joe size figures. Hell yes, that needs to happen like tomorrow. Oh, the current Doctor Who should be renamed Scooby Who. Says Rich Silverwood. Absolutely, I could not agree with that more. I think I said that earlier, but yes, I mean, like, I'm not the only one. Uh, they should end the season infecting the Daleks with a PC virus. They go around the universe saying equality, 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 inclusiveness. Oh my God. It takes a lot of imagination to write good stories, no matter what the genre, says Grace B. It does. There's a lot of people who want to be writers. There's a lot of people who can actually, they write good format and stuff, but they just don't have talent. And it's a huge difference. Like the difference between, I'll use music. Steve Vai is one of the greatest guitar players to ever live, but he couldn't write music to save his fucking life. He's really good on riffs. He knows his guitar up and down, plays it just mechanically and perfectly, but can't write music. Now you go to the Beatles. The Beatles, I mean, aside from Paul was a good musician. All right. We're not the best musicians. All right. They were, George Harrison. They had to bring in other people to do, get leads on their songs. Yeah, they had other musicians coming in because they were just good songwriters. All right, they were great studio songwriters. That's the difference. I mean, for Christ's sake, Ringo Starr, and I love Ringo Starr and I love the Beatles. And I've heard the arguments. Okay. And I know so he was left-handed and he played a right-handed drum set. That's why his drums always sound like they were going backwards practically. But he still wasn't that great of a drummer. He wasn't. But he was good for the band. He worked with the band. His style of drumming worked with the band. But yeah, it's about creativity. Compared to just, there's technical talent and there's creative talent. Sometimes they mix, sometimes they don't. Torchwood was great. What are you saying? Oh, the American one. Yeah, it sucked. Well, it's because the Americans got involved, Man of Action. They're trying to rope-a-dope us, but they don't have the chin to go the full 15 with the fans. We can take the beating and keep on going, Nerdrotic Channel. We're heavyweight champions of fandom. We are. And we are also, we are Legion. We are Legion. They are not going to be able to take us on at all. No way in hell. Diversify. Getting through some crosstalk here. They liked the play and said things like Dizzy Dizzy Daleks. Ticket Man Blade. What is that? That must be crosstalk again. Ringo was in the right place at the right time. Yes, he was. Ringo won the lottery, says Tom. I mean, I love Ringo. I do. I do. No disrespect. I am a huge Beatles fan, but worst rock drummer of all time. Yes. Well, him and Meg from the White Stripes, but she had just learned drums, so actually she did a good job though. I saw her live. I saw the White Stripes live, and but she looked the part though. It was at Coachella and the wind was blowing and Jack White goes up there and they start playing and she has a big head of hair and it's like flowing in the wind and like his hair was flowing in the, it just looked so fucking rock and roll. It was awesome. And they came on after Iggy and the Stooges, who the Red Hot Chili Peppers came on before them, and they played terrible. They did. Then Iggy and the Stooges came on and just freaking shredded. Iggy Pop, like his pants were off, he was bleeding, and Iggy Pop doesn't have a good show unless his pants are off and he's bleeding. And it was right before, it was like the real Stooges. And then the White Stripes came on. That was good stuff. I don't know how I got on that one, but yeah, she's a bad drummer. She's still a bad drummer. If of course I'm still interested. It's pronounced roughly Lushuk Ni Queeve. Got it. Lushuk Ni Queeve. Thank you, Lushuk Ni Queeve. I would have never ever gotten that out of that, so I really do appreciate that. She's cute though. Meg is cute. No, she's totally cute. We love Meg. Okay. I felt like, God damn, that sex tape, and then we never saw her again. I want the White Star. I like Jack White. Jack White's the last rock star. Pertwee is a great classic doctor, Gary. You ever seen Wurzel Gummidge? No, I have not. Aki Ross. Is that like a movie he's been in? I have not. Yes. Ringo had other talents. He did. He also fit in good with the band. He was also funny as hell. Anybody ever seen Caveman? Come on. I saw Caveman. It was good. I saw it in the theaters. Oh my God. It was his wife at the time. He always married these supermodels. What was his wife was in it. And I just remember the movie Caveman when it's had a giant dinosaur poop in it or something like that. That was like the one funny scene. Diversify. Yeah. So I woke up this morning, grateful to wake up as I always do because, waking up is good. And yeah, I saw like, so last week we had, like I said, decent views on a video. And then like I woke up and I think our video was at, when I went to bed last night, it was at 10,000 and it was at 27,000. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Funny thing, folks. So if you think us YouTubers are making a shitload of money, that video, the video I did before that, the reaction video, actually made a lot more money than the current one right now. Now it hasn't quite been 48 hours and they'll adjust it. And it doesn't matter. I don't really care. I don't care. But yeah, it made $1.98. I was like, God damn it. But I'm wondering if it probably got mixed into like the whole, like it might be fake news. I'm just reporting on what other people said. So, but Starburst Magazine has reported this before. They reported Capaldi was leaving long before he left, and they were right. Now, of course, with saying a doctor is leaving at some point, you're going to be right eventually. But I mean, they were right within the right amount of time. Also, the Matt Smith thing. And if you go back to Matt Smith, to go back to Doctor Who real quick, I will find it on Friday. I remember reading an article that said Matt Smith is signed on. He's going to do season 8 for sure. They verified it, they cleared it, and then 6 months later, he's leaving. I'm like, what? So something changed. Something drastic changed because, and I've talked about it before, they had a whole toy line coming out based on a Dalek invasion of London, and they scrapped it. Well, the toys came out, but it was definitely going to be part of the show and they scrapped it. I don't know what happened. That was during a delay when they split the season and all that stuff. Def Leppard's drummer had one arm and he was better, and he is better because he was a good drummer. How cool of that was that to keep him in the band? I really hated the last episode. The doctor telling us that it's all right for robots to take our jobs. Yep. Dr. Venkman, And I need to rewatch the episode, but I'm pretty sure she gave the terrorist alternate advice on how to do terrorism too, like a little more peaceful way to do terrorism. Um, yeah, I got another video coming out, folks. Don't worry. And if I keep like if Digital Spy and others keep coming out with basically responses to us, then I'll respond back. I will. The BBC should animate the lost, destroyed episodes of Cluster Doctor Who. I think they are, but all of them. You mean? Yes, they should because those are fun. I saw they have a thing here in the States. I don't know if you guys have them. It's called Fathom Events, where they show stuff in movie theaters. And I don't miss the Doctor Who stuff when they show it in movie theaters. I don't miss it. I go. Thankfully, the movie theater is just 2 miles away. Is Mickey Sue going to take is Mikey Spock going to take my job? No, says OG Spock Love. Mickey, yes. Granola Spock is going to take your job. Whole Foods Spock. Then the last episode was like, okay, so we're going to make the delivery company more people friendly, says Jamie Knight. Yes. I think it was a shot at Amazon. I thought they were going to full on take a shot at capitalism. So I was actually kind of surprised. Yeah. Fathom Events, JD Brisbois. I don't know if you guys have them over in Europe and stuff, but yeah, they do that with the old mystery. What did they call it again? Riff Tracks. They did a Doctor Who episode and it was awesome. It was great. I went to the Fathom event for that. And then I saw an animated Doctor Who second Doctor one. Then I get them on Blu-ray. The BBC sacked all their cameraman in the studios for a few years ago and replaced them with robots. Are you shitting me? So the Doctor's saying it's okay for the robots to take jobs is so on the nose for the higher up interference. Says Jibba Jabba P or FPV. For reals? Sons of bitches. Yeah, it's really hard when a big corporation has to call out another big corporation, isn't it? Brent Newman says, you want my job? Take it. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Spock from the planet Vegan. Yes. Did you guys ever think that I was driving to the gym today and I was thinking that that JJ Abrams is the modern day Michael Bay. Now, I know Michael Bay still gets work and he still has a bunch of hits and stuff, but not as much anymore. And maybe that generation has passed. People don't know like how much people used to hate this guy. They used to hate Michael Bay, Bay explosions, all that stuff. And it was just something that entered my mind. It's like JJ Abrams is the modern day Michael Bay. He is. So right now he's getting all the big gigs because he makes money. So the studios don't really see the end user and how upset they are. The thing is, like this is happening all over our IPs. This is what's happening with Doctor Who, with Star Wars, with Ghostbusters. Is they're bringing in people who have made money without like really vetting them out and seeing if the actual fans like them. So maybe they don't care enough. All right. Maybe Star Wars and Star Trek was always about let's get as much money as possible right now and then fuck it. Like we don't care. Let's just get that park built for Star Wars and Star Trek. You know, there's splatting it all over the wall. We're getting so much freaking Star Trek now with Kurtzman, who has done nothing to earn this. My mind is blown why they gave that man a 5-year deal. Other than he works with Bad Robot. J.J. Abrams is the modern Michael Bay. And I know there's people going, I love Michael Bay. There's some Michael Bay movies I like, okay, but they're not good. Like Armageddon is a country music song, basically. I mean, it's a country music video, but I like it. I mean, I like it. You know, I like Con Air, but it's not good. You know, put the bunny down. Okay, that's some good shit. I like it. I mean, it's awful. And that's what's going on, right? It's about who makes the money. And they don't really care about us. That's why we got to Steve Brent Newman. Sorry, I missed this again. God, I've really got to keep this window up. Sprint. I'm sorry. Hail Gary. Change for Pete's. P.S. When is the next Exo Zone? Hungry for more. Cheers. Brent Newman. Hail Brent Newman. €5 on the Exo Zone. Hang on, guys. Let me check right now. Do you mind if I check live on the air? I have to ask a question to the owner. Let me see. I can tell you its announcement will be soon. I will say an announcement will be soon. I will say within the next 24 to 48 hours. Please look at our Twitters and our website. Thank you for the €5. I appreciate it. It's in the works. So much has happened, right? Like we really need to we're almost I think in a few minutes I'm going to get to the Wednesday woo woo segment, folks. So of course, yes, Brent Newman says woo woo. Wednesday woo woo. So what is Wednesday woo woo? It's when we talk about UFOs and shit. So I mean, I got to give you guys a warning and stuff because there's some people who just really don't like it, and that's fine. I totally respect that. I don't want to and I'll say right now, when we do the Wednesday woo woo, we don't present anything as a fact. We are just open-minded. We're not saying you're not open-minded if you don't believe it. We completely respect your opinion and your beliefs on this stuff. And yeah, it's just kind of fun for us, but it's not something you know, I mean, I'm really into it, really, really into it, but that's, I dig it. Woo woo tail, Doomcock to take over Nazi moonbase. Who says he hasn't, Sebastian? I'm going to continue to say that. I will not confirm nor deny that has happened. But right now, the stuff I'm into is not, well, okay. There's a bunch of infighting in the UFO community right now. The UFO community finally has discovered YouTube and started live streaming. It's like, welcome to the 21st century, guys. So my favorite ufologist, Richard Dolan, is YouTubing almost every day. So please subscribe to him. He's legit. He is a good, legit guy. He represents the UFO community well. Mike Barra, he's out there. So if you like Mike Barra, you go to Mike Barra, but he's out there. Purge the Xenos, yes. Hang on a second. I'm getting it. Before I get to that, God, I should have announced this in the beginning. Son of a bitch. So Derek Robertson will be on this channel Sunday at 2 p.m. to take your questions. He will be live. Derek Robertson is the co-creator of Transmetropolitan, The Boys, and Happy. These are comic books. If you haven't read the comic books, you've probably seen the TV show Happy on Sci-Fi. He's a co-creator of Happy. He designed Happy's look. He's a co-executive producer on The Boys, which is starring Carl Urban and Simon Pegg. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. It's based on the comic book. It is brilliant. It is about a group of humans who take on superheroes who are basically like out of control celebrities and politicians. They're all on drugs, and they're basically out there to blackmail them, keep them in line, or get revenge if necessary. So yes, please check out The Boys TV show. It'll be out next year, and Derek Robertson will be here. He also probably has a Stan Lee story. He's a comic book artist veteran of 25 to 30 years. That Nightman that Doomcock talks about, he's a co-creator of Nightman. Yes, he co-created Nightman. And he's a friend of mine. So he's going to be here, and you guys can ask questions. I don't know how long he'll be. He's a talker as much as I am. So it could be long, folks. It could be long. But 2 p.m. Pacific time, Sunday. Derek Robertson. Yeah, it's going to be a big week. We also have Thursday morning, we have the Rorys, which is our positive award show. We're doing 2 award shows. We're doing the Rorys, which is the good stuff, and then the Uranus Awards, which is all the bad stuff. So the Rorys are all the good stuff. It's named after an award from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You might be familiar. A Rory is the best usage of the word fuck in a serious screenplay. So I decided to name our awards after that. It's all television categories. It's all stuff we covered. And The Expanse is going to win a lot. Okay, I'll just tell you that right now. And that is tomorrow morning. Very special Thanksgiving broadcast because my family's leaving me. So I'll be alone. So it'll just be us on Thanksgiving morning, and especially if you don't want to watch the sports ball. Okay. All right. So I have to check on something real quick. Oh my lord. Um Jesus Christ. Sorry, folks. Man, that video is just climbing. Keeps climbing. That's great. It is now our second most viewed video on our channel. So congratulations to us. It's at 35,000 views. I am like shocked. Yes, we're doing an award show, but I'm going to try to do it different. And well, for one, it's in our style, so it's very last minute. I just told our patrons. So our patrons are going to vote on it. Susan and Dennis are going to vote on it. The votes have to be in by tomorrow morning, and then I will go from there. But yeah, I really wanted Thanksgiving show to be a very positive show. Like we're not going to, yeah, it's just going to be showing all the good that's out there. Okay. But I will continue ripping Doctor Who. I am not going to stop. I can tell you that right now. I've been pissed about this for a long time, and I've just been quiet about it. And I'm still pissed. I will get over it. And I will keep to my promise. After season 11, I'm out. If this is what we're going to get from here on, I'm out. Not going to talk about it anymore. I think it's better left forgotten after season 11. And same with Star Trek. After Star Trek Discovery season 2, if we're going to get more of that, then I'm out. I'm done talking about it because I don't see what good it can do to talk about it after 2 seasons. So yeah, I'll probably rip every show. Hopefully it gets good. And if it gets good, I'll admit it. Okay. I'd rather see good Star Trek. That's my preference. We can get clicks from other things. Believe me. Once Expanse comes back and like, yeah, we're fine. We don't need to hate on Star Trek Discovery to rely on clicks. It's not what our channel's built on. So, Supergirl will sweep the board, says Aki Rose. You can hope. I could say that's not going to happen. I could say that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Okay, so this isn't really woo woo. We'll get to some UFO. So Wednesday woo woo. It came to my attention recently that they found a huge crater in Greenland under the ice sheet. Oh boy, there's Dennis right there. He says he's out and about. Okay. I'm just going to say, okay. So Dennis will not make it. All right. So I'm going to get to this crater found Greenland. And this is going to tie into Randall Carlson's theory. Massive impact crater discovered beneath Greenland ice. I'm trying to find an article with the least amount of holy shit, that thing is huge. My God. Okay, so the deal with this thing is, guys, we have been looking for an impact for the Younger Dryas event to bring you up to speed. Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson believe that the flood myth is based on the American ice sheets melting pretty much overnight due to an impact. So that created the Younger Dryas, which was the quick end to the Ice Age, and that it wiped out a previous advanced civilization that was probably in South America and other parts of the world. There is now that we have, of course, Google Earth, and everybody has access to look at the world freely. We have been noticed, geologists and even amateur geologists. Remember, the amateur scientists end up discovering the most stuff. They basically have discovered that they believe. Wait, I hit stop. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that. They basically believe that. They go into the Atlantis thing, but they don't think it's really the city of Atlantis. My belief, it was probably just a very advanced Stone Age civilization that was probably maybe up to the Romans' speed. And they got wiped out, and all record of them are gone. We just have little hints here and there. And the world was basically brought to absolute ruin. America lost all of its megafauna, or 75% of its mammals were killed almost overnight. So now we know what it's from. or we think we know. They've always suspected it was pieces of comets that hit the American ice shelf. Now they haven't found anything in America yet, but they're still looking. This is in Greenland. This might be close to being the smoking gun. And again, I'm going to show this to you. Look how freaking big this thing is. So the woo-woo aspect of it that is, I am a firm believer that there was an advanced civilization prior to 12,000 years ago. Did they have like spaceships and shit? No. But they were able to do crazy things like maybe liquefy rock. They used, the megaliths that they would built are insane. They are things we can't do now. And we are expected to believe that they were built with bronze tools and chicken bones, which is not reality. I know Ancient Aliens is built on the fact that this is all built by aliens. I don't necessarily believe that. I think it was man, but have we been visited in the past? Sure, absolutely. I think so. Look at how big that thing is. That thing is fucking massive. Now, apparently the ice over it is not that old. So I don't know what they're saying and how old the they said 1,000 feet. Okay, so it's an international team of scientists have discovered what lay hidden under the Antarctic ice for thousands, even hundreds of thousands of years. See, I've heard contradicting aspects. If it's 100,000 of years, then this doesn't count. This doesn't go to the Younger Dryas at all. The impact crater is buried more than a half a mile of ice. It was originally spotted by a team of scientists using freely available data from Operation Icebridge, NASA's ongoing mission to image the planet's polar ice. The crater, apparently this was like old data that they got it from. The crater in the northwest of Greenland under the Hiawatha Glacier, and it's about 300 meters deep. That's 1,000 feet. And is about 30.5 19 miles wide in diameter. For comparison, the largest crater on Earth is Vedredd crater, which is 160 million kilometers in diameter. The crater is exceptionally well preserved, and that is surprising. Professor Kurt Kajar, lead author of the study. The discovery initially made in 2015, but the international team led by researchers from the University of Copenhagen Center for Geogenetics and the Natural History Museum of Denmark has spent 3 years verifying the discovery. The team published a paper in the Journal of Science on the 14th. So I'm going to read the paper later, of course. Now, if this is hundreds of thousands of years old, then it wouldn't work for the Younger Dryas. If it's 12,000 years old, like some people are reporting, I can't verify that, then it might have something to do. But it also proves that there are many things there's impact craters we're still discovering. There are a lot of them get hidden. It's like what Randall Carlson said. It's because of the plant life and having an atmosphere and stuff. And if we didn't have that stuff, our surface would look like the moon. We have been hit that many times over the billions of years. So it was what I didn't know was near the Rakat structure, which is the eye of the Sahara, which is Bright Insight has gotten a lot of traction on that with their whole Atlantis theory. And I think it's fascinating. So let's go. The Sahara. There is I'm not going to be able to find it now, but there is an impact crater right next to that thing. Well, within 100 miles. Now it's older, but it's interesting that it's there. That's it. That's a good picture of it. That's a much better picture of it. Now, I think this thing has been ignored for a long time because it's just been in the middle of nowhere. Like, honestly, I have never heard of it. And that's a damn good picture of it. That's one of the better pictures I've seen. It's really bizarre how this lines up with the Plato's description of Atlantis. It's really, really bizarre. So either he has seen this, or maybe there was a city built on it at some time and he caved it from that, or seen a map. I don't know. I have no idea. I will do some homework on it, but goddamn, that's weird. They think it's an impact, but it really doesn't. They think it had some. First, they thought it was an impact, then they thought it was volcanic. I have seen impacts like this on. If you look at Mars and stuff, there is impact stuff like this. I'm getting a phone call. Come on, people, I'm live streaming. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's cool as hell. Now, the other thing that I think we might talk about, I mean, it's up to Doomcock what we talk about, and I know Doomcock is doing tons of homework on this when he has time. And again, I can't promise. And we do it when he can because like his schedule and my schedule are nuts right now, like are absolute nuts. And this is a show we want to do right. It has to be done right. So sometimes you don't want to rush the things that are cool. Another thing we're going to talk about is disclosure. And we hear that a lot in the UFO field. Like we're never going to get it, folks. It's never going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. But I think they're going to leak stuff out. They're going to leak stuff out. And hail Doomcock. Yes, definitely hail Doomcock. Please like, share, and subscribe to my good friend Doomcock. He just did a live stream. I need that. Like, it's the first one I missed in a long time, but I was at an AA meeting, so I couldn't make it. So yes, the Wednesday woo woo is basically that crater. I think it's too old personally to be part of the Younger Dryas, but I think they need to keep looking because I think they're close. I think they're going to find impacts below the ice. Now, you got to ask yourself, how can ice? So if something impacts an ice sheet, it can, it is possible for it to get refilled up with like, what was it? What'd they say? It's thousands of feet of ice in a very short amount of time. That is possible. It depends on how fast it went through. Did it happen prior to there being ice there at all? We don't know. All I know is I flew over Greenland once, and it was I've flown over Greenland before, but I've never it was it was one of those rare clear days, and you could see like how fucking big it was, and you could see all the icebergs and shit. Oh my god, blew my mind. Wow, you had me at the Expanse. We love the Expanse here. If our channel is built on anything, it's the Expanse. We're built on a lot of stuff though. Counterpart, Venture Brothers, The Expanse, Westworld to a certain aspect. Legion, our live streams. Yeah. Son of a rich. Let's get to the chat here. So I had something out, but I'm going to save it for the exozone because it's way out there. The Oumuamua thing, that story keeps getting weirder, folks. All right, so there's more. I still have to read the paper by I think it's a Swedish scientist who said there's a possibility that could have been alien. And hearing just a scientist say that was crazy. Holy shit, Batman! By the way, good news. The good news. I believe here. Let me find this article here. Remember Bat Kid, guys? Remember Bat Kid? Okay, I remember Bat Kid because it happened in my city. I had a shop at the time. There we go. I hate to use the Nerdist. So I remember that happening. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I didn't know it was going down until the day it was going down, and we ended up like shutting down the store and driving down there. And I remember being on a streetcar with like 5 Harlequins and 6 Jokers and a couple of Two Faces and some Poison Ivies, and it was freaking amazing. But I had no idea what to expect when we got down there. So if you hadn't heard of Bat Kid, I think everybody's heard of Bat Kid, right? So the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I believe, this kid had cancer. He wanted to be Batman. So they made him fucking Batman. And they brought out the chief of police. They brought out the mayor. There was God, tens of thousands of people, a lot of them cosplaying as Batman villains, and they did that whole thing, had the Batmobile. It was freaking awesome. So apparently he is now um cancer free or in remission or however you want to state it. And as somebody who's been affected by cancer, killed my dad. Um, yeah, the boy who stole our hearts as Bat Kid is now cancer free. 5 years after he got the chance to live his superhero dream through the streets of San Francisco, Miles Scott, now 10, remains cancer free. Miles Scott first captured our hearts in 2013 during the fight. This was the last year of my store. During his fight with leukemia, and was dressed as Bat Kid and saved the city of San Francisco with thousands of people cheering him on. And I mean, listen, San Francisco always, an excuse for a party is awesome. We will do it, but like, I was really proud of my city this year. Scott 10 is now healthy fifth grader who recently celebrated his 5-year mark at being cancer free. The Make a Wish Greater Bay Area Foundation, which facilitated Scott's dream to become a superhero in 2013, celebrated his important milestone on Thursday. That's fucking awesome, man. They did a documentary on it. It was fucking brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant. Happy birthday, Egon. Is it Harold Ramis's birthday? What do you? Oh, I don't know. I just saw happy birthday, Egon. Today would have been his happy birthday to Egon, everybody. A great loss. One of the greatest freaking writers, comedy writers ever. Harold Ramis played deadpan better than anybody I've ever seen. And no, you cannot do Ghostbusters without Egon. Sorry, not happening. What about my wish to be Thanos? Well, you got to get cancer, Truth Apocalypse. So Batman unleashes the hammers of justice and defeats cancer. Yes. But unfortunately, in typical Batman fashion, he just put him in Arkham and didn't just kill him. I got a big chest tattoo for cancer charity. That's awesome. That's something I do. Bill Maher will soon comment on it, won't he? Kurt Anderson, right? People who like Batman and are against cancer are the reason America's dumb. No, Bill Maher, you're the reason America's dumb. It's people taking you. People get their news from that guy. Like they actually get news and information from that guy. He's a failed comedian. He's good at being snarky. He's good at being, a smug, pretentious ass. He's very good at it. The thing is, you got to feel kind of bad for him because to remain smug and pretentious, you got to be angry and unhappy. And God, he's been doing that show forever. Has all that money now, all that prestige. Why is he still unhappy? I wonder. Because happy people aren't pretentious and smug and talk shit about the dead. Fascinating, Jim. Andre Merrick, return a more woo-woo-ness of claims will grow inverse. Oh man, this is way too intelligent for me, my friend. Claims will grow inverse proportionally to know much we can to how much we can verify. Wow, I fucked that up. But yes, you're right. Join us. Join us on the Exozone. The power of Batman compels you. I love that. He does. Always good to hear positive shit. Yes. Yes. I was going to do a video on it, but I don't have time. Plus, I'll start talking about my dad, and I just really want to do that on a video. I'll get all choked up. Don't get cancer. It sucks. Yeah, it really fucking does. Batman defeated cancer uh, with his deep and manly bat voice. Damn straight. Nathan Norman. He's not a failed comedian. You have to be funny to do that, right? The actor from the Avocado Jungle. I love somebody pointing it out. Which I didn't even know he was in. And my God, his mullet. Whoa. Take it easy. Later on, Chris Persia. Have a great day. You all rock. You do too, my friend. Resurrect Robert Holmes and Terry Nation for Doctor Who. God, yes, Sci-Fi Horizons, please. Terry Nation is missed. So missed. Hang on a second, guys. I'm sorry. Mrs. Nerdrotic is leaving this evening, and I'm like double checking. She just sent me a message. I got to kind of answer it. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah. So can I put up a picture of good old? I mean, R.I.P. You know what's funny is our old it's not funny actually. An old tradition of our podcast. We used to start out with celebrity deaths, and then we realized what a fucking downer it was. But I really want to give props, respect. I mean, it's his birthday today, and it's better to celebrate a celebrity's birthday, right? We miss you, buddy. We miss you. The great Harold Ramis. Yeah, I know Dan Aykroyd came out and said, Ghostbusters. He's been saying that for a long time, but take it easy. Yes, they did. Hey, my nooners are go as long as they go. But yeah, you can go check them out if you want. Either one will be a video later. So do you guys do whatever you feel is right. I'm going to read a little more chat here. Hang on a second. I got to, I haven't seen the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey. Are you out there, bud? But I fixed your Y. Okay. So your Y is fixed. So it was the Hunk Chunky Funky Monkey, but I have fixed that now. And we have some new patrons, which I will try to look for right now. Notifications. Oh my God. Our newest patron is Michael J. Crawford, the anti-trekker. So now I got to be his patron. That's how that works. So anti-trekker, I see a big piece of poop on my Patreon. And on, yes. So, there you go. There you go. And Andre, again, welcome aboard. So yes, Michael J. Crawford is our newest patron. So that's cool. Yeah, we've had almost like 200 watching today. That's great. But you know what? I'll pass this one off to Midnight's Edge, especially since we're going to be live again tomorrow. So I'll be live again tomorrow, folks. And I have a video coming out in a couple hours. Okay. So there's another Doctor Who video, but really this is your place to come and speak freely about liking Doctor Who or not, or being pissed. I don't want to use safe space because there's no such thing as a safe space. Meteors can hit you anywhere. There's no such thing as a safe space. But this is a place where you can come and be pissed off about Doctor Who and not be called a sexist or a Nazi or an ism or no. You can come here, be pissed and you know what? You can come here and say you like it, and you won't be called anything. All right. We're cool here. We're not like the whatever the PC, NPC, SJW, whatever they're being called this week. It's a group of people who I dare think aren't really fans, who don't want to have real arguments. That's why they dwell on Twitter and not on YouTube. And they don't have a reason for, and some of the stuff they defend, they probably don't even watch. And they haven't been watching for a long time. So the only thing we've ever asked for here is to honor the past, honor the lore. No, yes, you can update things. Great. Please do that. No, things get stale. I totally get that. But completely forgetting your audience and forgetting how you got there and how you got popular in the first place. Do it to your own peril. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say. Now I'm going to bring up our lovely patrons. Our lovely patrons. And we'll get this started. And I'll read your chat. Butt hurt. People get butt hurt, man. And, for one, like when we're criticizing a TV show, don't take it personal. It's just, unless like you literally work for that show or your mom does or something like that. Like, really, it's cool. We're just talking about a TV show. If you want to call me names, that's fine. It's funny. It's actually funny to wake up in the morning and be called like a know nothing asshole. That's what I was called this morning. I'm like, well, I know a couple things. Come on. Who's the youngest here? They need to take a dump on his grave to signify new life, says Nathan Norman. I don't know what that's for, but goddamn, that was funny. I am the oldest one here, probably. Matthew Matson. Okay, so here we can also, while we're thanking the patrons, we can thank the people who have bothered to show up and spend time here. So yeah, usually we've been doing like 3-hour nooners. We're going to do a short one this time, but for the participants, Blizzard Boy, CD Horde, Felipe Diaz, Grace B, Halam 899 Live, Hozcat, Ian Batchelor, JD Brisbois, Kato Roan, M. Wims, Matt Guy, Matt S. Hail Matt S. New Messiah, Sebastian Simonson, Stephanie Little Page, Ted Distel, and of course, Mary Ashmead was here with a wrench. And who else did I see? I saw somebody else with a wrench. Tom for Midnight's Edge After Dark. Thanks for popping in. It was good to see you. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. And go on over and check out Midnight's Edge After Dark. I'm going to bail out. I'll be in the chat there in a little bit. And Lori Roberts sent me $5 and called me a racist. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. That is so funny. Lori, you're funny. You got me to laugh. Okay. CC for $5, Koba for €5, Brent Newman for €5, and Lori Roberts for $5. I love you, Lori Roberts. I really do. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great day. And again, please go check out Midnight's Edge After Dark. They're live right now. And I will see you all soon. That was funny as hell. That was funny as hell. And to all the new subs, welcome to the best chat on YouTube, and who has a sense of humor like that. See, that is some funny shit. That's why people come here. That's why I freaking love you guys. You make me so happy. I can't tell you. So please tune in tomorrow. I think I changed the time, but it's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. The Rories. The Expanse is going to win a lot. So we're going to do a Thanksgiving award show in the morning. I will catch you all later. All hail Doomcock, and have a great day. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness.